Good morning, YouTube. It is 4:35 a.m. I have been awake already for an hour, having insomnia again. So, forgive the bags, the shine, the hair, the camera holding sloppy angle. I got my kitty. It's a good thing. Haven't seen her in a while. Although it's empty, I'm going to refill it. Look, I got the whole world in my hands. I love this little mug. My partner got that for me, because that's what we use at his house. So my house feels like his house. He's gone for the weekend, so I have the...
It could almost be said that happiness was probably an easier state to achieve when we were not so evolved and we didn't have time to sit around and pontificate about shit, to ruminate, to think. The westernized cultures are some of the most depressed cultures, and we have supposed riches. When we were foraging, we were too busy trying to stay alive and digging on that oxytocin of taking care of each other, loving and nurturing our children, because it kept us alive. The thrill of the hunt for that new purse or new iPhone was filled with the thrill of collecting food. Yay! We didn't get overweight because we were busy going through periods of starvation and eating what was available. We are mammals at our core. We got enough sunshine. We didn't fill ourselves with this, and we were communal by nature. We didn't have to go through loneliness and isolation, because if you were isolated, you were picked off like the weak gazelle. So we were naturally being put in states of being, resting, mental rest, conscious mind rest. We can only process like 6 bits of information. We get like 10,000 a day, operated by our unconscious and our habits. And back then we had that free space. We didn't have to make ourselves sit for 15-20 minutes and meditate, or decide to do some practice to draw ourselves out of culture and chaos and 12 different screens running at the same time and thinking about things that really don't even matter, and just existing. It was built in. Can't speak. Social relationships, built in. Being in nature, built in. Eating, well, approximations of whatever we could get our hands on in reasonable portions. Built in natural food, built in non-processed, non-chemicalized crap, built in hits of achievement and accolades and oxytocin and endorphins and all of those things that are supposed to be beneficial for us, built in. And there was a point in our evolution when we had just enough evolution to sit by a river and begin to have free time, and we started carving and making artwork and being creative, and that was a peak time. People just began to be able to exercise this awesome capacity to have spare freedoms to create. And our creative mind is one of the most powerful tools that we have, and what we should be using a lot of our conscious mind on. Unfortunately, we spend a lot of our conscious mind on busy distraction and overthinking things that don't need to be thinking about, on managing culture and bills and all the stuff that we've created, and sticking to norms and figuring out what the current cultural norms are, and we wonder why we're tired. When we were kids, we still had that imagination. A child can be very happy and has big dreams and big beliefs and no understanding that they have limits, and no indoctrination into the culture or who and what they're supposed to be, and they're free. And we have everything that exists, from television to the chair you're sitting in, what you're watching, the internet, things that people couldn't conceive of because someone imagined it. Now, our imagination and our ego kind of got a little crazy, took over the planet, literally. That's why it's so hot. And went a little sideways from back in the time when we were dancing. Even babies dance. When we were making music and joy and artwork and things that quantum physics, and figuring out that soap is a good thing to use. So now we privileged people, I mean, the fact that we get a chance at life is a pretty awesome privilege, but we privileged people, the most privileged people, are the least aware of our own privilege. No matter what your situation, we've lost touch. We live in a world that is artificial. We live in our own imagination creations. And people don't realize it, that culture and everything is a human construction. You're free, everything you choose to do in a day, and even your freedom, if you're free, if you're not in a prison or a hospital, it's a good day. It's a really good day. But we're not getting the buttons hit that we need to get hit biologically, physiologically, spiritually, socially, to sustain happiness. Particularly in the richest countries, because we're taught something different, and then we hit this middle of the road, and by golly, hopefully we wake up and we realize that the world we're living in is an illusion. And I mean literally, if you get into quantum physics and spirituality and all that, you realize that the whole world is an illusion, but society is an illusion. The fact that you are anything but happy is because you got to change the way you think, the way you perceive, the way you decide, and what you do with your time. You have to take care of these things in us that are innate to our survival, that are built in inappropriate ways. Contentment, gratitude, your value system, giving, compassion, fun, stillness, physical health. That's a big one, because if you are not in a state of proper physical health, it's really, really hard to thoroughly enjoy the other states, the giving, going, doing, being, thinking, planning your life. Doing the things that are going to provide you joy and peace. You need to reprioritize your life, your time, and decide that happiness, peace, health, joy, gratitude, some nature, and you've got to exercise your creativity because we're growth-driven machines. That's why we evolved so fast. If we're not doing, progressing, if we're stagnant, it begins to eat away at us. So you've got to find some way to be creative. And creativity, we stifle our own creativity with our critical self-judgments. You don't got to show anybody your creativity. Draw stick figures. And creativity isn't just drawing art and music. Invention is creativity. Math, science is creativity. Cooking is creativity. Anything that you think, imagining your future, and working toward that is creativity. We need to work toward goals. For that reason, just because the mental capacity to perceive something, to visualize, and to go for it. We need mindfulness so that we can stay in a moment, appreciate just being, slow down, find peace. We need to be giving. Dalai Lama said that giving is the only time it's okay to be selfish. We need to feel connected to other people. We need to contribute. We need to feed and treat our bodies right. And we need to be in a constant state of gratitude as much as we can. I need to realize that your life is going one precious little moment at a time. Whatever it is at that moment, you will look back and you will miss it, and you will wish you realized how good it was. Don't do that to yourself. Make it a point to try to be present in your life and find some way to be happy. I am just going to put this up because I haven't put anything up in a while. A whole lot's gone on. I have a lot of material to process in my brain and in my life. And a very, very slow system at home. Love you guys. This is way too long. You're not going to watch this. I need another cup of coffee. I'm going to a wildlife conservatory today, so it's awesome. I'm going to feed a giraffe some lettuce and see a crocodile. Don't know what else, but gay life, right? Love you guys. Bye, YouTube.